It's classroom tour time. Hello and welcome to the 2021-2022 classroom tour. So it is September 1st. We have been in school for 3 weeks now, so you are getting a real look at what a classroom looks like 3 weeks into the school year. I'm gonna walk you around and show you everything that we have going on, and if I have something, I will link it below in the description. If there's something that I mentioned that I don't link below, please leave me a comment and let me know, and I will help you find it. I love looking into other teacher classrooms, so I hope you will enjoy this too. I'm Rachel Vincent, and I help teachers run an effective and efficient classroom so they not only survive, but thrive as a teacher. All right, this is a look at the classroom from our door. Just give you an overview of the classroom. And then we'll start here. When you come in, I have our student center where students, except for the emergency folders that we need for fire drills, but students have access to all of these drawers. This is where they can find things that they need. And then we also have our lost property, where if something is lost, we just put it in here so that students can find it if they're missing it, and for things that need places to go. And then next to that, we have our book boxes. Students choose 5 different books to have to read during independent reading time. We made an anchor chart a few weeks ago talking about what kind of books we should have in our book boxes, and I'll show you that. And then we are a Leader in Me school, so we have the 7 habits up here on the wall. I am very fortunate to have a lot of storage in here, and so up on our wall we have our cabinets, we have our multiples posters, plus some Chromebook shortcuts, and then the student cubbies and where they put their backpacks. And so in my cabinets here, I just keep extra copy paper and lined paper. This cabinet has extra office supplies, folders, composition notebooks, pencils, things like that. In this cabinet, we have all of our birthday goodies. I just did a whole video about that. I will link it up so you can click on that if you'd like to see how we celebrate birthdays in the classroom. And then here are more office supplies. These are the supplies that don't quite fit into my teacher toolbox. And then this is just a bunch of random stuff. No really rhyme or reason for that. And then the last cabinet houses our books that we have either for novel studies or literature circles. And then on top of that, I have my seasonal tubs with decorations. And then our back wall has our reading anchor charts that we use, and then these are a few of the things we made during the first week of school. We have our class couch, and then these are our picture books. And then I have class jobs where students organize these. We need to talk about maybe pushing them in a little bit better, but they also choose books to display. We have our book hospital, lost property, clipboards up here. Here's the anchor chart we made for our book boxes. They can have 5 books. 3 should be new to them. They can have 1 picture book or more, but they should have at least 1, just trying to help their reading out, and then they have to finish all 5 books before swapping out. And then these are the inspirational authors from Kim in the Elementary and the Mitten. And I'm gonna kind of back out because we have over here we have our leadership roles, which have our class jobs. This is an activity we did on the first day of school where we read our class as a family and then they colored their name. So I'm not gonna zoom in on that. So this is in my big cabinets behind our leadership roles. And so here we have, back there are seasonal books that I change out at the front of the room each month, some whiteboards, my laminator, tools, different things, our class store things, indoor recess activities, math, and then some more flexible seating. We're about to start rolling that out. And then our treasure box down there. This is just old second grade and third grade stuff that I had. And then just some extra storage bins, students sweep, and so that's for them. I have my bulletin borders hanging on command hooks. And then just some, you know, random stuff shoved in there. On our back cabinet, we have our theme board from Joanne at Head Over Heels for Teaching. And so every time we read a book, our class votes on the theme we think the book would go with. And so we have several books up here, and we only do books that we've read as a class. And so hopefully by the end of the year, this board will be full of books. And then we have our back counter. That's where the pencils go. Right now we are benchmark testing with Fontes and Pinnell, so that's why these are out. They're not normally out. And then we have table supplies. And then our sink. So this just has tissue and sanitizer. And then in here, I have extra glue sticks that the kids brought in, some extra things, and then a lot of like craft type things or duct tape and things that we use for maybe science experiments and stuff like that. This also has more crafting type of stuff in these cabinets and glue. And then this final cabinet has like our paper products. And then coming around, we have these animal quotes from Hanging with Mrs. Holsey. This is where my student teacher hangs out. And then we have our chapter book library, which is pretty empty because the students are reading it. And then we have sort of the Who Was and What Was series. And then our school does book of the month. So we have that there. And then our window. And then that comes over to my area. So here I just have like class lists, groups, because we're contact tracing, and then transportation. So I won't zoom in over there. I'll go in closer to the rest of that stuff. And so I normally have my guided reading table a little bit further out, but this year we had to spread our tables out some more. So I'm kind of crammed in this corner, but we're making it work. I have a birthday tomorrow, so that's why that's out. But this is where I house things for math small groups and reading small groups. And then this is my teacher notebook, and since I'm benchmarking my students, that's all that information. This is where we keep our student keeps their Monday folders for graded papers to go home with, and then this is where students who have class jobs keep their clipboards. Up here is our student folder, so I file papers in there to go into their Monday folders, and then I have a drawer for each subject that I teach, and so this is where all my copies go. I do not do a Monday through Friday drawer because sometimes we use the same copy multiple days. Sometimes I don't have any copies for that day, so I found it easier to have the subject drawers instead. And then I have the Be the Nice Kid quote with some paper fans from Hobby Lobby. This basket houses all the books that I like to use for read alouds that I don't really want the students reading because I want to use them. And then these hold different things like my math textbook, teacher's edition, and then my like Fontes and Pinnell and reading strategies book when I'm lesson planning. And then this is classroom library files, and then papers from the office. And then here is where I just keep extra of like random stuff. So things like if I was to get a new student, that stuff goes in here. This is where I keep my receipt book for receipting money. And then other is really just miscellaneous. So because I don't have a teacher desk with drawers anymore, this is where I keep the supplies that I need for myself, and then my personal items like a hairbrush, lotion, nail file, things like that, and then just some more supplies that I keep. And then this is where I put graded paper. So if I need to grade it, it goes in here after it comes out of the turn-in bin. I stick it in there. These are papers I need to copy, and then these are things I've already copied and need to file. And then students are allowed to access this with my permission, so it's Band-Aids, nurse passes, and erasers. So they can, I can't leave it out for them to have a free fall because they'll use them up. Then I have my teacher toolbox. This is from Hanging with Mrs. Holsey. So these labels are in my TPT store, but these are from Hanging with Mrs. Holsey, where it has all my little supplies. And then I use the supplies in the cabinets to refill this when I need to. Hand sanitizer, because that's important. All my pens, and then some sanitizing wipes. But this is the supplies I access most frequently: stapler, tape, scissors. And then these are just sort of backup hand sanitizer. Students can use a colorful pen pass, and so that's what this is for. This is just a notebook that I'll take to me with meetings. My recess sunglasses, I leave a pair here at school. And then this is my junk basket, so where things I just don't know what needs to go in there, kind of like a junk drawer at your kitchen. And then this is my another small group basket where I keep pencils, glue, things, a timer, things I'll need for that. And then down here is where I keep my seasonal tub for books, where these are our science experiment supplies. And then currently this is empty. I keep my lunchbox in here, so it's up off the ground. And then I have my printer. This bag I got when I went to get your teach on, but what I keep in it are the Scholastic book orders that I send home for parents to tear apart and staple together for me. So I have a parent volunteer do that, and so that all goes in that. It has a stapler in there. And then I put a little hook on the side to hang my book bag so it's not on the floor. And then this is my little area. Up here this is where I have my grade book, where I track before I put it in the online grade book. These are absent, and then this goes to the office. And then I have our class calendar and schedule. And so both of these are in my TPT store, the time cards, the schedule cards, and all the calendar pieces. And then I have my document camera, and then this little basket holds a remote for the LED lights and for my Promethean board. And then I do have a filing cabinet. It's a little bit hard to get to because I had to change my drawers, but in this houses things that I'll need for the year, things that I only need to keep for a year for documentation, but not, most of my resources are all digital now. And then down there in the second drawer is just paper. And then I have our turn-in bin, and this is where I put papers that we're using for that day so it's not on my table. This is where we keep the numbers for our date on the board, our calendar pieces, and then this is just colored cardstock and paper for me. And then dry erase pockets, our class store, extra copies, our visionary of the week information. I go ahead and make copies for the year so I don't have to do it. And then this is where I put our Scholastic book orders until they're ready to go home for a parent to sort. This is our date that one of our class jobs is to change that every day. And then they write reminders. And then what our class is currently reading, the book we're currently reading. And then our lunch choices. A student also, I print out the school lunch and a student fills that out and moves all of our numbers back each day. And so then they put their numbers on their choice in the morning. This is where our visionary of the week fills out their paper and it goes there. And so then up front, we have some flexible seating. Our seasonal books go under our Promethean board. Hello. And then we're currently learning place value, so this, I have it up here so I can move it, but eventually it'll go on the wall. And then currently, right now, our All About Me banners are hanging in the hallway, but when they come down, they'll all go up there for the year. And then our class mission, our voice levels, our hand signals. Here's our epic count of books. You can find this in the resources in Epic, and so we just watch our caterpillar grow. Our goals we're working on, which go along with our, this is our goal for related arts, this is our goal for our math facts, it's a school-wide goal, and then this is the goal tracker we work weekly. This is from Amy Grossbeck. And then we have a fan because it's hot after recess, some more flexible seating, and just a desk for students to sit at, and then our birthdays, and then we're back at the door. So we also have this carpet area for students to come sit at to work, and then I have 4 students at a table. These colored baskets hold their student work folders and their little supply bags that hold just a pencil and a glue stick, because that's all we really access the most. Their scissors and crayons stay in their cubbies. This filing cabinet here has reading curriculum that we don't use anymore, so it just stays there. So that is our classroom. Oh, I also have these paper fans that I made for each table. I actually need to adjust them since moving the tables apart, and then I made this. You can find that in my classroom setup.